Hello and welcome to the Maple Grove City Report. I'm Dave Kaiser from Northwest Community Television. It's time for your regular update of what's new in the city of Maple Grove and a look back at the most recent council meetings. Stay with us. Maple Grove City Report coming up next. And thanks again for joining us on the Maple Grove City Report. I'm joined by City Administrator Al Madsen. Welcome again, Al.
Good to be here, Dave.
We have a rather short council meeting to talk about 35 minutes of council, which we like because that gives us time to hop around town. And as you see, Al has a full stack of information to tell you. Let's start with a little bit of a new theme that people might be hearing not only in Maple Grove, but throughout the northwest suburban area.
Locals love it. The Minneapolis Northwest Visitors and Convention Bureau, they're promoting this program. Locals love it. There's a card that you can fill out, your favorite restaurant, your favorite, probably retail place or favorite park or whatever the case may be. And so it's a neat little program that they're doing to help draw attention to Brooklyn Center, Maple Grove, Brooklyn Park, the Northwest area. So locals love it. It's just a neat little thing. And so if you're pop into some business and you absolutely love it, just fill out a little card and let's go from there. So
maybe a little known fact for people here in the Northwest area that Maple Grove and the surrounding cities are covered by a Convention and Visitors Bureau. Is that important, play an important part to your hotels that are in the city of Maple Grove and obviously now to the shops and fountains area to keep the spotlight on those?
It sure does, no doubt about that. There's a close working relationship between all the hotels that are their members, and then also with the Convention and Visitors Bureau. So the real close connection, and then that has a nice spin-over for us too, because you've got the bureaus out there promoting events. You've got the hotels that are out there promoting events. The ripple effect is obviously that people are going to be coming here. They're going to dine here. They're going to shop here. They're going to lodge here. And so it's a great opportunity. So.
Any feel on not only the hotels but the restaurants in the Maple Grove area of how much of it is local people, Maple Grove people that are going in and using hotels or restaurants, and the two might be different, as opposed to people, because I know this happens when conventions come to Minneapolis area, people will look to stay out in this area as opposed to stay downtown. Any feel of percentages on that? Have you heard from Dave Luby or his cast at times?
No, actually I have not heard that. That's a good question, but you're right. People, if there is something going on in Minneapolis, people will like to stay in a suburb.
Right.
And because typically we're 20, 25 minutes from downtown Minneapolis, and so, but I've not seen any statistics, but that's a good question. I'll see if I can dig something up on that for the next show.
Or you get those fine people coming from Fargo and that end of the world and say, I'll stay in Maple Grove, and then I have access to Maple Grove and obviously can get downtown if I need to get downtown.
Yeah, we have people that they come for the Mall of America, but they'll stay out in Brooklyn Park or Brooklyn Center, Maple Grove, just to be away from the so-called heavy traffic hubbub of things, but yet they're coming into the Twin Cities, and sometimes exclusively for the Mall of America, but we get that spin over too. So
so
it's
they
nice.
Happen to spend a few dollars up here, which is always appreciated.
It's very, very nice, yes.
People that might be interested in the police department have an opportunity to find out a little bit more about all that they deal with and some of the education and training they get. Tell us about the Citizens Police Academy.
Police Academy has been very, very popular. We always seem to have plenty of people that sign up for it. The program runs from September 30 through December 16, and the application deadline is September 20. So the individuals that participate in the Police Citizens Academy get a broad overview of all kinds of different things as it relates to law enforcement, safety, things like that. So it's a real good opportunity for those that not only want to get a better understanding of their own local police department, but just overall safety in general. So, and it even involves firearms demonstration at our North Metro range. So it's a good program. We've been doing it for a number of years.
So again, for really any adult to attend, it's not that you have to be looking to go into a police career, but again, it's that opportunity to get a look at all of the things they do and maybe a better understanding of what a police force is and what are some of the trainings and things that they have to deal with.
Right, and we have had individuals who have participated in the Citizens Police Academy, and members of their family have decided to go into law enforcement.
Sure.
And so there again is that little bit of a spin-off. So.
Okay. And I would guess people, if they're looking for more information on that, can go to the city's website. We'll give you that at the end of the program so
Correct.
you can make sure you jot that down. Let's talk a little bit about another area of police reserves. I would guess there's always a need for more people to help out this fine force.
There really is. The police reserves, I cannot say enough good things about the police reserve. Tremendous group of people. You have to be 18 and over, and obviously have a good driving record in order to sign up to be in a police reserve. But the reserves help out in a lot of different ways. One item in most notable is Maple Grove Days.
Sure.
That's where they really do pitch in, and it relieves a lot of the strain on our regular officers. And our regular officers, you know, they sometimes if we didn't have the police reserves, our regular officers would be spread so thin.
Right.
And that causes a problem. And so the reserves really picks up that slack. And I don't know how many years we've been doing it, but it's been highly successful. And we always seem to have a lot of applications for the police reserve.
Very good.
Yeah.
What type of a length of commitment is this for a person interested in this, and roughly how many hours, say, per week or month would they have to put in to be a reserve?
Well, sometimes the hours will depend on the individual. It depend on the different events that may take place.
Right.
Someone is probably typically looking at 20, 25, 30 hours a month.
Okay.
And so the time commitment isn't that great. Again, though, around Maple Grove Days,
Right.
it
There's
gets
times of the year.
demanding because we have so many things going on. And then just in December, when the Maple Grove Community Organization has a lot of holiday events going on,
Right.
so then the police reserve gets very active in that as well. So it's not something that I would say requires so much time that it would scare a person away.
Okay.
But I'm thinking maybe 20 hours a month, 25 hours a month, again, depending on different events that you might have. So.
And you mentioned Maple Grove Days, and I think I have heard in various cities that this is an opportunity as well where the cities will share some of these resources. So Maple
Absolutely
Grove
right.
officers may go over to Tater Days or may go to Crystal Frolics
Right.
and help out when they're having their celebrations.
Right, we do that because it's nice to be able to do that because all the cities can kind of count on you know their fellow cities to you know help fill in some gaps that might take place. So
All right. So again, go to the website and look at the police department information. You can find out a little bit more about ways to get involved there. Other things happening in town, you've got a little art to talk about.
Now, a couple of things here. The Skyline Art Crawl is not until Saturday and Sunday, the 27th and 28th of September, so it's a ways off. But the art crawl is kind of nice because they have art displays at various locations, and the government center will, as we have in the past number of years, there will be a number of things on display there. And so you see some fantastic art. There's some unbelievably wonderful artists that are in our community, whether it be paintings or sculptures or whatever the case may be. They take their work very, very passionately, and they're very, very good at it. So it's called the Skyline Art Crawl. It's always been successful ever since it's been started. We get a lot of people that when we have it at the government center, a lot of people come in, and it may be the first time they've ever been in the government center
Right.
too. And so it gives them an opportunity to see the government center, but again, just to look at the wonderful art that we do have some highly, highly skilled artists at Maple Grove.
So again, called the Skyline Art Crawl. If you're interested in participating, stopping by the government center to see that. And we've talked about police. Let's talk about fire for just a minute. You've got a program called the GLOW program.
All right, the GLOW Safety Program. It's giving little ones wisdom. That's one of the programs that our fire prevention group, which is headed up by our Deputy Fire Marshal, Marilyn Arnlin, it's a program to well, safety, I guess. There's nothing else to call it but that, is to teach little kids the importance of safety when you're dealing with fire.
Okay.
And so I think that's going to be a very, very popular program.
Is it a one-time class, or is this an ongoing program?
This will be an ongoing program.
Okay.
We try to also incorporate it through District 279, so kind of a joint agreement with them. But it gives the youngsters the opportunity to learn the good and the bad about fire. And so our fire prevention division of the city, they do a great job. And I think it's one of the reasons why Maple Grove has a very, very great, what's called an ISO rating, a fire rating, because we do have a strong fire prevention program, and we also have obviously strong fire department, and so all of that ties in. So.
And I bet adults could learn a thing or two. We probably could be helped out a little bit by the GLOW program. So my guess would be with the kids, maybe adults can either attend as well or quiz the kids when they get home. They'll probably do a safety check around the house and say, Mom, Dad, don't put those candles there.
That's true. That's a very good point. Very good point.
Other things happening in Maple Grove, the Farmers Market continues to roll on, and Al tells me that there's some new items, or I guess returning items.
Apples and melons are going to be now coming
Very
in because of this time of year, and so that's great. But we have two new vendors that are going to be a part of the Farmers Market. One's called Crepe and Cake. I tried one of their little crepes, and it's
they made you do
it's
it
amazing.
Right.
Yeah, they made me do it right. It's amazing, and so we're real happy that Crepe and Cake is going to be here. And then also another one is called Redhead Creamy. They provide cheese curds. And very, very excellent cheese curds.
Good timing here with the state fair starting.
Not the greasy, deep fried.
These are healthy.
These are healthy cheese curds, right? If there is such a thing,
right.
I don't
didn't know they did that, but these would probably be good ones to try.
Right. And so the farmers market just continues to blossom, and in our 11th year, and we knock on the door of 3,000 people coming to the farmers market between the hours of 3 and 7, so within a 4-hour period. There's 25, 28, 3,000 people that come there.
Very good.
And they love it. And one of the nice things is that you'll see a lot of the same faces, because they're creatures of habit, I guess. But as time goes on, you start to see more and more new faces along with what I would call the regulars.
Right.
And so that's nice. And we usually have a number of extracurricular things going on for the kids and things like that. The vendors, they love it. They have, most of the vendors have been with us since day one. They provide excellent products, excellent service. And one of the things I've noticed when I've stopped over, there's a lot of camaraderie between the vendors.
Sure.
Maybe they know each other, maybe they don't, but for that particular day and for, from 3 to 7, they know each other. And so we have a number of vendors there that are local. I can't think of Ken's last name, but he raises bees in Maple Grove, and his bee product has been a state fair winner a number of times. So, and rightfully, Ken gives credit to his wife. So
of course, that's smart.
It's very smart.
And again, for people maybe new to town or haven't been there, it is 3 to 7, as you mentioned.
Correct.
Wednesday afternoons, and that is at the Thursday afternoons at the Maple Grove Community Center.
Right. Can't miss it. You'll see all the tents that are popped up.
Yep.
And so, parking might be a little tough at times.
Right.
This one that's coming up, there's a number of activities that are going on at the community center, and so parking may be a little difficult, but it's a nice, what I call orderly chaos. So
okay, well put. Speaking of orderly chaos, how about the state fair? We talked a little bit about cheese curds, and after you eat the healthy ones up here at the farmers market, then you might want to go get the other ones down at the state fair.
Yep.
And Maple Grove is always a part of transportation to the state fair. Explain again how that works and why that has been a good cooperative for you.
Well, it's been a great thing, and we were talking earlier, if you're going to go to the state fair, to me, the only way to go is jump on the bus. It's $5 a person. That's round trip. Let the bus driver take you to this fairgrounds. You don't have to worry about parking. You don't have to worry about all the hassle of, your car stuck in long line of other cars. It leaves from our Arbor Lakes bus station on weekends only, and then on Labor Day.
Okay.
So just that, nothing during the week. The buses leave about every 30 minutes, and I think the last bus that leaves from the State Fair, I think, is at 11 o'clock at night. So for $5 round trip, you can catch the bus. We started this several years ago, and it's just taken off in popularity. More and more people now are saying, hey, I'm going to let the driving to somebody else.
Right.
I'm not going to stand in that long line or park in that long line of cars. And then when you get there, you got to park a ways away.
Sure.
And so it's a great opportunity for, I think, people to just let the driving to someone else. And again, it's from the Arbor Lakes transit station.
It's always handy for Al because he wins all those stuffed animals at all those games
Right,
down the
yes,
Midway, right?
yeah.
And then what do you do with all those? You just put them next to you in the bus.
That's right, yes.
And take the bus ride back so you
Right.
don't have to walk so far to carry them.
Right, yeah, that's for
So
sure.
you might want to take advantage of that bus opportunity again.
And the
Go to
buses
Maple
are
Grove website.
handicap accessible too, by the
Okay.
way. So
Good.
just to let everybody know that. A couple of other things here. We've got a lot of construction activity. Just in the Arbor Lakes, Hemlock area, there's
Right.
a lot of construction activity with the multifamily residential. The Bottineau Ridge, which is 50 units, that one is fully leased out. And I believe that they're getting ready to have their formal grand opening probably sometime in the first part of September.
Okay.
The Sky Arbor Lakes, that's another large market rate apartment project. We've given them authorization for 40 certificate of occupancies.
Okay.
They have quite a number more beyond that they're doing the finishing touches so
Right.
that we can issue a CO. Then you've got Silver Creek on Main, and that's the senior project right at the corner, Weaver Lake and Main Street. You see all those cranes there. We haven't seen some large cranes in Maple Grove for a long time, and so there's 4 large cranes there, and so that project should be up and running. I'm thinking late spring of 2015. They are holding a number of public informational meetings, or I should say informational meetings for people that may or may not be interested in renting space there. The first one they had at the community center was packed, and so they're going to be having another one coming up. And so I think we do have information on our website about that. If not, just you could go to Silvercrest Properties, and that's the developer. But it's going to be a very, very nice development, and the excitement has been very strong for it. And so we're a very strong senior market in Maple Grove, very strong. So,
How many units will be in that building, and is that being built in phases?
it's being built in phases. The first phase is about 195. The second phase is about another 195. Now, the Sky at Arbor Lakes, that's about 440 or 450 units. That, again, though, is 2-phase.
Right.
And then the Bottineau Ridge, that's the affordable housing. That's 50 units, phase 1, and then 50 units of phase 2.
All right, so more to come in all of those
More to
areas
come,
down the road.
absolutely right, absolutely right. Photo contest, we've been holding a photo contest, and so those people that are interested, take a look at the photos that are on the first level, and you were one of the judges.
It was tough.
Yeah, I'm sure it was. I've
It was
seen those
very
photos. It's amazing, but wonderful photos. And
Yes.
so anybody that's interested in photography, come over to the government center, the first level there, and beautiful, beautiful photography. And so Carol tells me that the winners have been selected, but I don't know who they are yet. So
I can't tell you.
and you can't either. So
Okay,
right.
I can't remember exactly, but there were some beautiful photos, and as I
Really nice.
understand it, it's something then that Carol and the staff uses in publications. So
Yes.
you may see some of these homespun pictures in publications for Maple Grove throughout the coming years.
Right, absolutely right. Another thing is fire hydrants. Keep the fire hydrants clear.
Now wait a second.
It's not
Of
winter,
snow? What are we getting in the way of fire hydrants? A few weeds,
Well,
maybe?
we have people that'll park in front of a fire hydrant.
Ah, okay.
And if
Got
there's
it.
a fire, our crew isn't going to worry about that car. They're going to push that car right out of the way. And so keep the fire hydrants clear, and especially in the wintertime.
Sure.
Everybody
Right.
should try and plow the snow away from the fire hydrant so that if our firefighters do get called, they've got quick access to it. So
Okay.
the other thing is, I hate to say this, school is starting.
Yes, great. So,
Well, State Fair's here, and shortly after that is school's opening. So encourage everybody to drive safe. During the summer, we all get a little rusty because school is not in session, and so
no
we get a little,
buses to worry about
Right.
pulling up to.
right. And so just drive carefully because school will be starting shortly. So just make sure that we do pay attention to everything. So
And a few changes to a few buildings. We've talked over past reports about Maple Grove Junior High, and my guess
Yes,
would be that
and-
the gyms are probably getting close to be ready. I think it was
Gyms
for
are-
this fall season or winter season that
Right.
they were thinking.
right, they're coming along very, very well. And then the Maple Grove Senior High,
Right.
they've had a number of additions to that as well. And I think, if I'm correct, I think they have now added air conditioning to all of the elementary schools.
Ah,
So, right.
very nice.
For sure.
September will be a little nicer for students
It
this
really
year
will,
and
yes.
the teachers.
Right. There'll be some information coming out on our website about the city cleanup, the fall cleanup events. And that'll be in September and October. And again, we'll have information on our website about that.
Okay.
Our single-family developments right now, they're running 182 versus 155 last year. So we're running ahead of last year. Now that doesn't take into consideration all of the multifamily
Sure.
that we're now doing. And
Right.
so that's probably about it. For those that are aware, Rainbow Foods has closed. So we're working with the property owner for reuse of that facility.
Right.
And it's unfortunate that we got a big vacant building there, but we'll make it work.
Okay.
The Red Rock Business Park is going to be starting construction probably in the next couple of weeks on a 319,000 square foot industrial building. And in comparison, for those that see the FedEx building along 81,
Right.
that's 300,000 square feet. So that'll give you
Just a
a
hair
good
bigger.
picture of what 319,000 looks like. Just a few other things here. Park Nicollet, their development is underway. You see some cranes out there now, a lot of work going on. There's also people called me about wondering what's that development that's going on over by Aldi's in Cambria.
Right.
That's a two-story medical office building, and that's being put together by Ryan Companies. Historical Society, I always put a plug in for
Sure.
that. Wonderful, wonderful organization. And so I encourage anybody that would like to learn more about it, come to the website or call me or whatever the case may
Okay.
be. Got a lot of wonderful members of that. So
Good.
probably about it. The meeting was about 35 minutes long. We did accept the resignation of Officer Mark Ringenberg. Mark's been with us for a number of years. He has taken a position now with the city of St. Paul. We're going to miss him. He certainly has been a great officer with us. And then also our CSO coordinator, Ann Sargent. She retired, and Ann, she's probably given us 23 or 24 years of service. And then we have another one that's going to be retiring, Jeff Dreyer, who's in our Park and Recreation Department, 34 years.
Oh, my
Yes,
goodness.
for Jeff. And
Congratulations.
so we're an aging population, and so we've been seeing a lot of retirees. I think that we probably have at least 10 this year. And so there'll probably be a couple more coming.
Right.
So, but it's, it's the name of the game, this, our workforce for the city is aging. So, meeting was about 35 minutes long. We did have a very nice presentation by the ambassadors, Catherine Fox, Ellen Grabinski, and Jillian Clausen. Very poised young ladies. They're just, every year I provide a tour of the government center and a public safety facility for all of the candidates.
Right.
And they are just such nice young ladies. They just are poised and intelligent and very, very interested in representing their city well.
Right.
And I know these 3 young ladies, they've already started representing the city
They've
well.
been busy, I've heard.
They have, yes. And so they introduced themselves to the council and gave a little
Great.
bit of the background and what their plans are. And so it was just nice to have them stop by. So Ambassador program, it's a wonderful program. I think we've been doing it for at least 15 years, maybe a little bit more. So
Yeah,
it'll
very
continue.
strong.
Yes. A couple other things. The 610 bids came in, and there were 3 contractors that bid for 610. And I need to clarify that this doesn't complete 610 100%.
What do you mean?
I know.
Haven't we been waiting for that moment of completion?
Right. How many times I've been saying
Yes.
it doesn't complete at 100%, but it completes the vast majority of it. There's $80.4 million at Lunda Construction. They were the winning bid.
Okay.
There's still about another 20 or 25 million that needed to be done. That's the interchange area, things like that.
Right.
But this is a huge, huge step, and so Lunda Construction is the winning bid for that.
And timing-wise, when will we see some action starting to happen around County 81 and heading back over towards the Parkway
You
94?
probably start to see some action. I'm thinking the first part of October, maybe end of September.
Okay.
It's a MnDOT project, and I'm not being critical of MnDOT, but the process takes a little bit longer.
Sure.
But we're happy that the bids are out, and the bids, the bidder has been selected, and so now MnDOT just going to have to go through additional paperwork on their end. But I'm thinking maybe sometime toward the end of September.
Very nice.
We'll start to see some action. So that's about it. Meeting got over at 8:05, and the next meeting, because of Labor Day, will not be on a Monday. It'll
Okay.
be a Tuesday, September 2nd, and so at 7:30.
Okay,
So
very
that's
good,
it.
Al. Thank you very much for all the information. As always, Al mentioned the website quite a few times with some of the things with the Citizens Police Academy, the GLOW program. Here is that website for you if you'd like to click on and find out a little bit more about those opportunities or some of the other things happening in town. MapleGroveMN.gov is that site. As Al mentioned again, the next meeting is on a Tuesday, September 2nd, 7:30 at the Government Center. And phone number is 763-494-6000. You can also find out more information there, or call Al and ask him about the Historical Society and things happening around town related to that. If you have any questions or comments for the program, 533-1710 is our viewer response line. We'd be happy to take your questions and try to answer them on the air. For Al Madsen, I'm Dave Kaiser. Thanks for joining us on the Maple Grove City Report.